Hey everybody, it's Adam from 151. As you can see, we're not in the studio at the moment. We are actually on the square of Polk City, Iowa. Now, if you paid attention, a couple weeks ago, I did a couple virtual tours because there's a lot of folks that are kind of stuck at home right now due to COVID. Maybe they're just working from home or actually quarantined or whatever. Anyways, it was a lot of fun. At least I thought it was. And today we're actually going to be doing another one of these virtual tours. Now, like I said, as you can see, we are on the square of Polk City, Iowa, my hometown actually. And this isn't what we're actually going to tour. We're actually going to be heading up to Ames, Iowa, home of the Iowa State Cyclones, and Hickory Park, and a whole bunch of other goodness. Hopefully you enjoy this little tour, and hopefully it's something that will, you know, entertain you for a half hour or whatever it'll be. So we're gonna get underway and head up to Ames, Iowa. So this is my second time shooting this because right when I got to about this point, I got a phone call the first time around. So yeah, and I've been waiting for a certain phone call, but it was one of those things where it was for my vehicle's warranty. So we're gonna head around the square here, Polk City. Got the other camera on, it is recording. The real reason I want to go around the square is because I actually want to give a shameless plug. Coming up here is the City Hall, but right here off the square in Polk City is Fender's Brewing, and my neighbor actually runs that. So just want to give him a shameless plug because, as you know, on 151 the show, we are all about shameless plugs. Speaking of shameless plugs, if you would be so kind as to subscribe and like and share all of our channels, we'd be really appreciative of that. You can find us at 151theshow.com, this station's website.com, or Podbean, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and a whole slew of other channels, all at 151 the show. And you can find us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, all at 151 the show as well. So there's the creamery. That place has been about everything. Mechanic, restaurant, now an ice cream health place or something, I don't know. Over here, building that is no longer, well, it's, the business isn't there, but I think we can get it right there. That used to be the Polk City Bait and Tackle. Big deal here in Polk City, as we are on two lakes, Big Creek and Saylorville. So, all right, I'm gonna stop boring you with the tales of my hometown. I will turn all this stuff back on here in a few minutes once we're a little bit closer to Ames, and we will see the town of Ames, Iowa. So stick around, and it'll happen here in a few seconds because it's called video editing. Cool? Cool. Hey everybody, we're back, and we are on the road to Ames. I don't know if you just saw the sign there, but it's about 4 miles. We're about 4 miles south of Ames right now. I thought I'd turn on the camera for a few before we get there so I can tell you a couple stories. Truth be told, I don't know a ton about Ames. I've worked in Ames and that sort of thing, but I didn't go to school up here. And you know, for a lot of when I was growing up, I didn't do a lot of drinking in Ames either, so I'm gonna give you the best tour we can as we get up here. When I worked up here, I was actually working for a bike shop called Fender Cycle, Fender's Honda, Fender Cycle of Ames, when I was away from radio for a year, and had an absolute blast with the guys there. That was a lot of fun. Had there not been some ownership changes, I probably would have stayed, truth be told. But no, that's kind of my big experience up here. Also, there used to be a place called the Cyclone truck stop that we would often frequent when we probably shouldn't have, if you know what I mean. They used to have something called the Cyclone Slam Dunk, which it was like 12 eggs, 12 12 pieces of bread, 12 pieces of bacon, sausage, just everything. A buddy of mine actually ate it all in one sitting, one time, which was pretty crazy. So, as you can see, we are driving here. It's a lot of farmland over here. Got the other camera here. But no, one of my favorite spots in Ames is is Hickory Park, which I mentioned a few minutes ago. Just an absolutely awesome smoked meat barbecue type restaurant. And if you ever get a chance, if you're up in Ames, stop at Hickory Park. That's another shameless plug for this video. But no, here's where it gets a little messy. And when I say messy, I don't mean that in a bad way. Ames is obviously the home of the Iowa State Cyclones. I'm an Iowa Hawkeye fan. I have gotten better with age. When I was a kid, I was, you know, the a-hole Iowa Hawkeye fan who Iowa State didn't amount to nothing. But in working in radio and having to do sports and all that, I think I can now say that I can look at Iowa State and I can, you know, I'm not a fan, but I don't wish them ill, if that makes sense. And I can also look at them and go, you know what, they're a good team, or they're not a good team, or hey, they did this well, you know, that sort of thing. Give analysis. Matt Campbell has been great for them, football-wise. Steve Prohm, he's still doing basketball and all that. We'll take you by Jack Trice and by Hilton Coliseum and Stevens Auditorium, where I've actually seen a lot of concerts. Last time I was up in Ames, I believe, was actually for a show at Stevens Auditorium. Dave Chappelle came through back in January, I think. He was doing a thing with Andrew Yang, and I'll tell you this much. When Andrew Yang came out on the stage at the very end, it couldn't have been more awkward. It was really, really awkward after Dave Chappelle show, and then Yang comes out, and you know, nothing against Yang or whatever, it's just like, it's the really cool kid handing the mic to the not so cool kid, if that makes sense. But boy, if you get a chance to see Dave Chappelle, go see him. That was a great show. So here we are just getting into Ames. The bike shop I actually worked at, the original shop is right up here, and I'll show you here in a few seconds. But we moved midway through, and I don't know if you've ever moved a motorcycle shop before. It sucks. But no, I'll show you the original building here. I don't think we'll go by the new shop. I have pretty much zero ties with the new shop, so. But yep, we are in. We're just now entering the south side of Ames. We're on Highway 69. I believe this turns into Duff, which is kind of awesome. Oh, I guess I could take you by the movie theater. There's a movie theater up here that my buddies and I, when we were young and dumb and liked to drink a lot more than we probably should have, we snuck a case of beer into Shrek 2 at this movie theater. I had like 10 cans of beer in my shorts, and it was funny. We got into the theater, and right about as we were supposed to sit down, one of them fell out and rolled all the way down the floor to the bottom of the theater. So, if I remember right, I may have been a little bit inebriated. I think whoever found it cracked it and opened it. But like I said, I was a little inebriated at the time. So, we like to drink. What's wrong with that? So, all right, right up here. I'll have a beer in Ames. It's now a car dealership, I believe. Drive Ames is what it's called now. But that used to be where. Oh, there's nobody there now. Oh, okay, never mind. That used to be Fender's Honda, Fender Cycle of Ames, where I worked for about 8 months or so. It was a lot of fun. Mike and Josh and all those guys, Zach and Jake, they were awesome. They took me in when they didn't have to, and that was always cool of them. So there's Hickory Park, one of the best restaurants on the face of the earth. If you ever get a chance, please go there. They're not paying me for this, by the way. It's just me shamelessly plugging things. I will take you by the movie theater real quick, because it's right here and you really can't see it from the road. So, no, Ames is a cool little town. I don't have much experience here. It's not like, you know, Des Moines, where I worked for 14 years, or Pella, where I went to school. I've had a lot of buddies and friends that went to Iowa State. But yeah, it was never my thing, so. Although there are a couple bars up here that I frequented. All right, here, we're going in here. I know this probably isn't the most exciting part of the tour, but what else you got better to do right now? It's Jethro's Steak and Chop. Never actually eaten there. That was one of the places when I worked up here. It was always, oh, we should go to Jethro's, and we just never did. So, you know what? It might have come in later. I don't really remember. So here is the movie theater. I don't remember if it was Cinemark or not. Get you a good view of the parking lot here. But yeah, this is the movie theater I saw Shrek 2 at, and we snuck a case of beer into. So, it was good times. I'll never forget that. It was cold too, because we went and bought the beer, and like, how many are you gonna put in your pants? I don't know. See how many we can get. And I don't know why, but when in Shrek 2, when the Headless Horseman is outside the I can't remember what the tavern is in that, but he's doing field sobriety tests and he's trying to touch his nose. I got the biggest kick out of that. You have no idea. All right, stop here, keep going. Yeah, we'll make our way over to Welch, where a lot of the bars are. It's campus town. There's probably going to be people that watch this that are from Ames, or you know, have lived here at some point. They'll be like, oh, you didn't tell the story right, or something like that. I'm sorry. Okay. Roads are a little bumpy here, so. All right. Making our way along. There's Bebops. I don't know if those are in other states, but if you ever get a chance to go to Bebops, get the double cheeseburger and get the cup of chili and dip the burger in the chili. You'll thank me, I promise you. Making our way over here. This is just a lot of like shops and, you know, strip mall stuff and all that. I guess I could fast forward this part until we get to the cool part, but whatever. I got nothing better to do today. All right. So, how are you? Green light, go. I probably should have put my bag in a different spot because it keeps bouncing back and forth with whenever I come to a stop here. So, like I said, we're making our way down towards campus town and stuff. That's where a lot of the really cool stuff is. Jack Trice and all that will be towards the end of all this. I hope that this camera isn't shaking too much. I just looked over and it's like, so we'll see what happens. Yeah, I worked up at the bike shop for about a year. I split time between here and the Des Moines shop. And like I said, that was a lot of fun. I don't know if you've ever worked in a motorcycle shop before, but that is just, it really was a blast. So, like I said, Mike and Josh and Jake and Zach, the Salty Ham, and Arkansas, he was one of the sales guys there. Andrew and Nick, my buddy, one of the mechanics, and a few, Denny. Oh, can't forget about Denny. Get enough drunk texts from Denny. But no, all good folks. And like I said, they didn't have to take me in at the time, but they did, and I really appreciate that stuff. And like I said, if ownership stuff hadn't come up and another radio gig, I probably might still be there. So, all right, we're making our way down Lincoln Way right now. We're heading towards campus and all that. Depending on how long this turns out to be, on the way home, I might have a little bonus place for you. So just keep that in mind. Again, this is 151 The Show. Special virtual tour of Ames for all the folks that are maybe stuck at home because of COVID or whatever. You know, with that in mind, you know, there's, I know everybody's trying to get everything restarted and stuff, but boy, I don't know. There's a lot of talk about, you know, trying to get sports up and going again. I think baseball just decided to do it. NBA is working on it. I just don't know if it's going to happen this year, especially college football and all this. You just had the story of LSU having a whole bunch of players that that were contracted COVID. Iowa